Hey everyone, today we're talking about one of the most frustrating things that can happen when you're trying to shoot professional video. Your footage just doesn't look like the stuff you see in movies. You set up your camera, you light your scene, you think you've nailed it, and then you look at the playback and it's flat, dull, and lacks that cinematic punch. I get it, I've been there. But there's a camera that changed all of that for me, and it's the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. If you've ever felt limited by your current setup or just want that filmic look without breaking the bank, this might be exactly what you need. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So what makes this camera so special? First off, it's built for filmmakers, not just vloggers or casual shooters. The 4/3-inch HDR sensor is a game changer because it captures way more dynamic range than most mirrorless or DSLR cameras in this price range. That means your highlights won't blow out and your shadows retain detail, giving you that rich, film-like image right out of camera. I've used it in bright outdoor scenes and dimly lit interiors, and it handles both without needing a ton of extra grading in post. Another huge plus is the form factor. This thing is small and lightweight, thanks to its carbon fiber polycarbonate composite body. It's not some bulky cinema camera that requires a rig and a crane to move around. I've taken it hiking, mounted it on a gimbal, even strapped it to a drone, and it just blends right in without weighing me down. Plus, the design is sleek and professional, so it doesn't scream cheap camera when you're shooting a project. Now, let's talk about resolution and frame rates because those are the specs that really matter for serious filmmaking. The Pocket Cinema Camera 4K shoots DCI 4K at 60 frames per second, and it can go up to 2.8K at 80 frames per second in RAW. That's not just for slow motion, it gives you the flexibility to shoot at higher frame rates for cinematic motion blur or to future-proof your footage. I've used the 4K 60 mode for capturing fast action, like skateboarding or sports, and the footage looks buttery smooth without any weird artifacts. One of the things I love most about this camera is how customizable it is. You can adjust everything from the white balance to the ISO without digging through endless menus. The touchscreen interface is responsive, and the physical buttons are tactile and easy to use, even when you're wearing gloves or shooting in cold weather. I've also found that the battery life is solid. It lasts through a full day of shooting if I'm not constantly recording RAW. And when I do need to swap batteries, it's a quick process that doesn't interrupt the shoot. Let's not forget about the audio. The Pocket Cinema Camera 4K has built-in stereo mics, but it also has a 3.5mm audio input so you can plug in an external mic. I've used it with lav mics for interviews and shotgun mics for run-and-gun documentary work, and the audio quality is surprisingly good for a camera this small. It's not going to replace a dedicated recorder, but for most indie filmmakers, it's more than enough. Now, I won't lie, there are a couple of things that might give you pause. The menu system can be a bit overwhelming at first. Blackmagic is known for packing a lot of pro features into their cameras, and it can take some time to get comfortable with everything. I spent a few hours just playing around with the settings before I felt confident using it on a real shoot. Also, while the camera is great for raw footage, you'll need a decent computer to handle the files. If you're used to shooting in H.264 or H.265, raw files are going to be a beast to edit, so make sure your workflow is set up for it. But overall, the pros far outweigh the cons for me. The image quality is unmatched in this price range, the build is solid, and it's versatile enough to handle everything from short films to YouTube content. If you're serious about filmmaking and want a camera that gives you that cinematic look without the Hollywood budget, this is it. So if you're ready to step up your video game and finally get footage that looks like it belongs on the big screen, check out the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. The link is waiting for you below. Happy shooting!